Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. It's often said that history is written not just in books, but in the objects we carry every day. In our pockets, our purses, our wallets, coins are miniature time capsules, pieces of a larger story waiting to be discovered. One such story lies hidden in a seemingly ordinary piece of American currency, the 1972 Roosevelt 5-cent coin, minted in Denver, bearing the iconic D mint mark. At first glance, it looks like just another nickel. And for most people, it was. Millions of these were exchanged for candy bars, dropped into parking meters, or forgotten in the cushions of old couches. But among collectors and numismatists, this particular coin holds a unique place, not just for its design or age, but because of the subtle nuances and anomalies that make it stand out, and the surprising value it holds today. $147. But to understand why a 5-cent coin from 1972 could be worth so much today, we need to go back in time, not just to the year it was minted, but even further, to the origins of the 5-cent coin, and the story of the man whose name is often mistakenly associated with it. Now, let's clear something up right away. The coin we're discussing is the 1972 Roosevelt 5-cent coin. But here's the twist: the United States never issued a 5-cent coin featuring Franklin D. Roosevelt. Instead, Roosevelt's portrait appears on the dime, the 10-cent coin. But here's where the story gets interesting: not all coins are created equal. During the minting process, subtle variations, misalignments, or striking errors can occur. These imperfections, known as mint errors or varieties, are what transform an everyday coin into a collector's treasure. The 1972 D. Jefferson nickel is known to have several varieties and conditions that increase its value significantly. From full steps on Monticello to high-grade uncirculated specimens, these small differences can mean the difference between 5 cents and a small fortune. In fact, it's this exact combination, mint mark D, uncirculated condition, and full steps, that pushes the value of this otherwise humble nickel to an astonishing $147. Imagine that, a 5-cent coin worth nearly 3,000 times its face value, but that's not the only reason collectors seek out this coin. There's also the nostalgia factor. For many Americans, coins like the 1972 D nickel are pieces of their childhood. They remember buying candy for a nickel, flipping one to make a decision, or collecting change in a piggy bank. Owning a high-grade example is more than just a financial investment. It's a connection to a specific moment in time, and there's something else to consider: these coins aren't being made anymore. While the Jefferson nickel design continued until the early 2000s, the mint marks, die varieties, and subtle characteristics of specific years and mints give each coin its own identity. As time passes, more of these coins disappear into private collections, are lost, or are simply worn down by circulation. That scarcity increases demand and value. The coin we're highlighting today, the 1972 D. Jefferson nickel valued at $147, represents one of those rare examples. It's likely a high mint state coin, with full steps, clean surfaces, no signs of wear, and that coveted D mint mark from Denver. Coins of this caliber are often sealed in plastic holders, known as slabs, after being authenticated and graded by third-party grading services. That grade becomes its identity in the market, helping buyers and sellers agree on value. Now, let's pause for a moment and think about the journey of this coin. From a blank metal planchet, it was struck in the Denver Mint in 1972. It could have ended up anywhere: in a pocket in New York, a cash register in Texas, or a collection in California. Maybe it sat in a drawer for years, forgotten, protected by accident from the wear and tear of circulation. And now, more than 50 years later, it re-emerges, not as just a coin, but as a piece of history worth over $100. Stories like this are what make coin collecting so fascinating. It's not just about money, it's about mystery, discovery, and a sense of connection to the past. Every coin has a story, and the 1972 D. Jefferson nickel is no exception. It tells a story of a time in American history, a moment in numismatic design, and the unpredictable way value is created over time. And if you're thinking of starting your own coin collection, the Jefferson nickel series is a great place to begin. It's accessible, educational, and full of surprises like the 1972 D. You'll learn not only about coins but about history, art, and the intricate process of minting. So, as we come to the end of this journey, let's return to the original question: how can a 5-cent coin from 1972 be worth $147? The answer is a blend of rarity, condition, historical context, collector demand, and a bit of luck. The 1972 D. Jefferson nickel, in its finest form, is more than just pocket change. It's a symbol of how everyday objects can carry extraordinary value, if only we know where. You ever hold a coin in your hand and wonder about the story it carries? How a tiny piece of metal can link you to a moment in history, a place, even a feeling. Today, we're diving deep into one such story, the tale of the 1983 USA 5-cent Roosevelt nickel, minted in Denver. But this isn't just any nickel. This coin, marked with a humble D, carries a fascinating legacy, and it's captured the hearts of collectors around the world. And stick around, because by the end, you're going to find out why this small coin can actually be worth a whopping $118. Let's set the stage first. The year is 1983. The world is buzzing with change. In the United States, Ronald Reagan is president, the Cold War is in full swing, and pop culture is exploding with energy. Music videos are becoming a phenomenon thanks to MTV, and people are embracing new technology like personal computers. In the everyday hustle of American life, coins like the nickel quietly pass through countless hands, from cashiers to collectors. The Roosevelt nickel itself has a story that goes back decades before 1983. It was introduced in 1938, designed to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away the previous year. Roosevelt had been a towering figure in American history, leading the country through the Great Depression and World War II. What's special is how the coin's design captures his legacy, not just his likeness but the symbolism of his enduring spirit. Now, back to 1983 and our coin with the mint mark D. What does that D mean? The letter tells us where the coin was minted. The United States Mint operates several facilities, and the D stands for Denver, Colorado. The Denver Mint has been producing coins since 1906 and is known for high-quality coinage. It's fascinating how a single letter on a coin can connect you to a specific place, a particular factory where the coin was struck, and even to the skilled workers who made it. The 1983 Roosevelt nickel is part of a broader series produced from 1938 to the present day. But what makes this year, and specifically the Denver Mint version, interesting? For one, the 1980s were a time of increased coin collecting interest. People began to realize that coins could be more than just currency. They were pieces of history, art, and sometimes, valuable collectibles. The 1983 nickel, minted in Denver, had a relatively high mintage. Hundreds of millions were produced that year. So at first glance, you might wonder, if so many were made, why is this coin worth so much today? Well, this is where the magic of coin collecting kicks in. Value in coins is often about more than just how many were made. Condition plays a huge role. A coin that's been handled a lot, scratched, or worn won't fetch the same price as one that looks like it just left the mint. That's where grading comes into play. Coins are graded on a scale, with mint state, MS, coins being in pristine, uncirculated condition. For the 1983 D. Roosevelt nickel, collectors often seek out MS 65 or higher grades to command premium prices, but there's more. Some 1983 D nickels have errors or variations that make them rarer and more sought after. Mint errors happen when something goes wrong during the production process: a doubled die, an off-center strike, or a misplaced mint mark. These imperfections, paradoxically, can make a coin more valuable because they're unusual and tell a unique story of manufacturing quirks. For example, a 1983 D Roosevelt nickel with a double die error, where the images or letters appear doubled, is highly prized. If you're lucky enough to find such an error in excellent condition, that coin could easily exceed the $118 mark, and sometimes go for much more depending on rarity and collector demand. Let's talk about the metal content. The nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a composition that's been consistent since 1946. This alloy gives the coin its distinctive silver-gray color and durability. Despite fluctuating metal prices, the face value of the coin remains 5 cents, but as a collectible, its market value can soar. Over the years, the demand for coins like this has increased, especially as the baby boomer generation began to appreciate the nostalgia and history embedded in coinage. Online marketplaces and auctions have made it easier than ever for collectors to find rare coins and connect with others who share their passion. So, what's the big deal about this coin's current value? Why $118? Well, that price reflects the market's recognition of the 1983 Roosevelt nickel's collectability in near-perfect condition. It's a balance of supply, demand, and condition. Coins graded MS65 or higher, especially with eye appeal and no significant flaws, command prices in this range. Of course, the value can fluctuate. Coins are like any collectible, they're subject to trends, collector interest, and economic factors. But $118 is a strong figure for a nickel, given its face value of just 5 cents. It's a reminder that sometimes, the smallest things can hold the greatest surprises. So next time you come across a nickel, take a moment to look closely. Check for that tiny D mint mark, admire Roosevelt's profile, and think about the journey that coin has taken. It might just be worth more than you think. If you're interested in starting a coin collection or want to learn more about specific coins, always remember to do your research, look for reputable dealers, and consider having coins professionally graded to understand their true value. You know, coins often tell stories, little pieces of history tucked right into your pocket. Today, I want to take you on a journey back to 2008, to explore a tiny but fascinating piece of American currency that's captured the attention of collectors and history buffs alike, the 2008 Roosevelt nickel with the P mint mark. On the surface, it's just a 5-cent coin, but as we dig deeper, you'll see why it's so much more than that. Picture this, the year is 2008. The world is buzzing with change and uncertainty, but here in the United States, the tradition of minting coins carries on, as it has for over 2 centuries. Among those coins, the Roosevelt nickel quietly shines as one of the nation's most iconic designs, a tribute to the 32nd President of the United States, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. But this isn't just any nickel, it's the 2008 issue, the first year that the Philadelphia Mint added the P mint mark to the coin's design. This small letter, P, would turn out to make a huge difference. Let's rewind a bit. The Roosevelt nickel first entered circulation in 1938. It was designed to honor President Roosevelt, who had passed away the previous year and was revered for his leadership through the Great Depression and World War II. The obverse features a dignified profile of Roosevelt, captured by sculptor John R. Sinek. The reverse, until 2003, bore an image of a buffalo, which was replaced by the now familiar design of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate. This design has become synonymous with the nickel in the minds of many Americans. Now, what makes the 2008 P. Roosevelt nickel truly special? First off, it was the inaugural year for the P mint mark on nickels. That means the coins from this year hold a unique place in numismatic history. Collectors love firsts, whether it's the first year a design is issued or the first time a mint mark appears. The 2008 nickel ticks both boxes. It's the first with the P, and continues the long-standing legacy of the Roosevelt design. Imagine holding a 2008 P. Roosevelt nickel that looks like it just rolled off the minting press. No scratches, no nicks, perfect luster. That's the kind of coin collectors covet. In the coin collecting world, condition is king. Even a small imperfection can drastically reduce a coin's value, while flawless examples can command surprisingly high prices. Speaking of value, the 2008 P. Roosevelt nickel has an intriguing story here too. While it's not a rare coin in the traditional sense, its value has been steadily climbing among collectors who appreciate its historical significance and the novelty of the mint mark. Today, a pristine 2008 P. nickel can fetch around $111, which is remarkable considering its face value is only 5 cents. This value is driven by a few factors. First, the coin's status as the first year the P mint mark appeared on nickels gives it historical importance. Next, the demand from collectors who want to complete their Roosevelt nickel sets with all mint marks is strong. Finally, the increasing interest in modern coins and their variations means that even recent issues can become valuable over time, but beyond the monetary value, the 2008 P. Roosevelt nickel is a symbol. It represents a blend of history, art, and craftsmanship, all wrapped into a small coin you might overlook every day. It reminds us that even the most ordinary objects can carry extraordinary stories. When the P. mint mark was added in 2008, it was placed on the obverse side, just to the right of Roosevelt's neck, a small but clear identifier of the Philadelphia Mint. This was an important shift because previously, nickels from Philadelphia were not marked, making it harder to distinguish their origin. Now, I want to share a little secret about coin collecting that might surprise you. Even coins minted in huge quantities can become valuable if they're kept in excellent condition or if there are particular errors or variations. For instance, sometimes coins have slight die errors, off-center strikes, or doubled mint marks. These imperfections, rare as they are, can skyrocket a coin's value. Collectors love the 2008 P. Roosevelt nickel because it bridges the past and present. It's a nod to Roosevelt's legacy and the evolving craft of coin minting. For younger collectors, it's a modern coin with a cool story. For seasoned numismatists, it's a valuable piece marking a minting milestone. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, the big reveal. This humble nickel, when found in pristine, certified condition, has a market value of around $111 today. From just 5 cents to over $100, it's an impressive leap, showing us the magic that can lie in something as small and ordinary as a coin. So next time you come across a Roosevelt nickel, take a closer look. It might just be worth more than its face value, both in dollars and in the story it tells. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the fascinating world of the 2008 P. Roosevelt nickel. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to explore more stories behind everyday objects, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. And if you have questions or want to share your own coin collecting experiences, drop a comment below. I love hearing from you. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your collections growing. You never know what treasures you might find in your pocket.